Is there anything we can do to make up for that?
Generally, we keep people off them, but it's very rare that someone comes upon our lands without us finding them first.
Well, we had some... We just woke up. That's the...
I'm aware you just woke up. We found you when you were sleeping.
Thank you for not killing us in our sleep.
Thomas looks over at Antlyn. Some guard. That's
You were
twice.
all asleep.
Continues to look.
You go.
You are not brothers and sisters, yet you bicker like children.
Hey, short people don't like that comment.
Then maybe you should grow up in your attitude and not your height. Walks past him.
We were given these stones from the father of the forest.
Antlyn chuckles.
Again, piqued interest. And why you?
He and his brothers and sisters have chosen us to play a game.
I'm hoping for checkers.
What's your name?
What
My
is
name's-
the father of the forest's name?
His real one or the other one?
The only one that matters. His name. If you've met him, you should know his name.
Othar.
And where are you supposed to head?
East.
To?
Lake Hill. Past it, and then past that to a monastery, and then we're gonna go find a shrine up a mountain.
Deep within a mountain.
She looks to her notes.
The shaded monastery up the shaded path.
Yeah, and then we go a day east, a path, and on the top of it, we climb a mountain, then we go in a cave, and there's a shrine in the cave.
He walks over towards Illiyanna. He takes your backpack and throws it open from behind you. He looks in it.
Oh,
Hey, that's not polite.
He raises his staff towards Thomas. Just the end of it. And walks back.
You got one of those too?
And on this journey, you're supposed to leave from here.
As far
How are you supposed to survive? You have but a day's rations.
I don't know. He said that there were going to be tests.
Well,
Maybe
do you have
that's one
any?
of them.
Do you have any mistletoe in this forest?
He just kind of holds his hand out as a small bead of green light forms to her bears, trying to make these, and he drops them in Antlyn's hands.
Antlyn holds them and nods. I just need multiple of those items so I can create them myself. That's in
What are those?
They're berries.
He holds them out to each of his companions.
She looks at hers.
Mistletoe is poisonous, isn't it?
It's witchcraft, as those two would say. Looking at Thomas and Roselynn.
Oh, magic! Illiyanna brightens up and smiles. You can do magic? Look, how did you do that? I haven't seen that type of magic before. When did you learn how to do that? How did you learn how to do that?
Thousands of years ago, the forest told me, and he points to Antlyn. I draw my magic from the same place he does.
Where do you draw your magic?
Antlyn shrugs.
You know magic.
You really should start trusting your companions more, all of you. He starts to walk. Very well done, don't get lost.
Can you give us directions?
He takes a berry, popping it in his mouth, looks over his shoulder, just laughs, and points the staff in the direction he's walking.
Antlyn looks to the rest of the group and shrugs, and continues to
Hey,
follow
wait up!
behind.
You can hear the rustling in the leaves, very up in the leaves, very very softly, but just enough that you can hear it.
Pick up weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up ours and, like, are we seriously following him? Alright.
Yeah, apparently
Follow.
he's going east.
I don't know these woods. Plus, when looking for the direction of where we're supposed to go, they found us here.
Could have killed us in our sleep, and they didn't. Unless it's all an elaborate ruse or trap. But he seemed nice. He was just curious. From what I could tell.
We should leave their lands as soon as possible.
You hear the chuckle from out in front of you as when you say that.
So, do you have any more of the items to create those berries?
He just says nothing and continues walking in no direction through the
Sorry.
thick mist in the under. Antlyn, you were the first one I think that said they were following, right?
Yeah.
Give me a perception check. It's like as he walks through this forest, the roots of the trees, things that would be in his way, almost recede from his path. And as you're walking, they don't come back to get in your way. It's just almost like the path is being made easier as you travel with him.
He tilts his head.
Breanne, whenever they're walking behind him, she wants to kind of look at him and be like, "Are you a druid?"
You hear a chuckle from front. Some may call us that, yes.
Or are you similar to the Father of the Forest?
No. But nowhere near as powerful as he is.
He tilts his head and then keeps watching as the vines and stuff move away from him at his feet.
What are you looking at, Antlyn?
He points it out.
Oh. Are you doing that? That's really cool. Are you okay? You had arrows and a sword in you. Are you okay?
There's just a few more chuckles. She is the inquisitive one, is she not?
Very much. It's the only way to learn.
Kind of come down around these bankings as you see what looks almost like a cluster of trees in a large circular pattern. Almost like a bunch of trees have twisted together and formed this massive tree in the center of this forest. And he's walking straight for it.
Continue walking after him.
Alan will eat his berry because he hasn't eaten it yet as he walks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of a sudden, whatever, the lack of eating, everything is just seemingly taken by. You feel like you've sustained enough nutrition for an entire day.
berries given to each of us?
Yep.
Roselynn will eye her
He
berry.
gave them to Antlyn, and Antlyn passed them out.
She eyes her berry.
Doesn't really have much of a taste, but you're full. You feel good. You don't feel weighed down. You're not starving.
Antlyn, is it safe?
It's very much safe. I've used these many, many days up in the mountains of my home.
You could just make food out of nothing? How did you do that? Is that... You said you needed mistletoe for it? Is it part of a mistletoe? I didn't think mistletoe grew berries. Why does it make so many?
Maad would eat his.
Very much the same. Because you get your nutrition without the bloating down and eating one massive meal.
Antlyn shrugs to Illiyanna's question. I'm not really sure, and no, it doesn't come from nothingness. In nature, something has to be taken to be created from something else.
We're still
Illiyanna
following
writes this down. And she eats her berry.
Not sure how it exactly works, but it just came to me one day.
Breanne will lean into Antlyn and say, "Do you have one more?
Yeah, he handed everyone one.
Even Bella?" Bella has
Looks to see how much they actually make.
They make 10.
Oh, then you're good.
Okay.
We're still following this old druid,
He
right?
stops out in front of this large, massive trees. You can hear like almost a running water, almost a waterfall from somewhere, but you can't see it. He puts his hand out, touching the barks as some of the trees begin to move and split apart, almost forming like an archway inside this tree, and he begins to walk through.
Antlyn looks
Walk through with him.
like he's in awe. And then his ears twitch when he hears the water, and he just kind of like talks to everyone as he follows and just says, "This might be the only time to get water." And he holds out his water skin excitedly.
It's not that, Firefly. So, as you walk, it's just an archway. There is no portal to give you. And you see inside a very smallish, compared to... It's about 3/4 of a south acre. I'll get that out of the way now. A druidic village inside these massive trees with a small waterfall built off almost the tree. Parts of the trees themselves were shaped to catch the rainwater and kind of funnel it down through a system. But you can see the sky, which even throughout this dense fog above this tree, there is no fog, and it is just almost like the sun is just down here like a bright summer day. And little kids kind of running around, and little parts as mothers chase them, and there are people tending to all sorts of manner of forest beast. Some look sick, and some that look possibly pregnant. But there is basically this small little enclave of druids here.
This is incredible.
Different races or one specific group?
Most of them have been wood elves that you've seen, but there's a scattering of humans. There's a couple halflings. There's a gnome, but pretty much predominantly wood elves that you would notice.
Roselynn will just be very shocked. That's all.
Wow! Illiyanna will look around and smile.
I thought you wanted us to leave your area. I appreciate you showing us this.
Antlyn will offer the berries to some of the kids if they come over.
They start making them in front of you as well.
They can do
Thomas
it!
goes and plays with the halflings.
Yeah, this is like one of Thomas's first time seeing other halflings, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, they start shaping into all sorts of different things and playing, just kind of laughing with Thomas and having a good time as they play some music. And
Thomas will play along with him.
and
Yeah, great.
he simply just turns and looks to you, man, and If you are sent by the one we serve, it's only good if we send you with food, so that you may make your journey and complete whatever task he sent for you.
Again, thank you.
Me nuts.
You serve the father of the forest? That makes a lot of sense.
He chuckles. He walks over to Illiyanna and holds his hand out for the book.
She passes it over?
All he does is simply close it and hands it back to you.
Oh.
No, he just shakes his head and just pats your shoulder. If you're always reading in here, you'll miss what's in front of and he points to your eyes. Experience it. Then your knowledge will be better. He smiles and starts to walk towards a big group of adolescent kids who seemingly are coming out from probably the ones that were following you. A bunch of maybe 16, 17-year-old wood elves with bows.
Illiyanna starts to write down his words of wisdom, and then she stops herself.
Oh my god, are these the Lost Boys? Like from Peter Pan?
No, they just seem to be like that they were out hunting.
Roselynn will speak up, try to call it to the elder druid. Might I acquire your name?
You must earn that right.
She raises an eye.
How do you earn it?
You complete your task, I'll give you my name.
I'm guessing we have a task here.
He shakes his head. I would not impose on you a greater task. Take the day, relax, and prepare for your journey. Food will be ready. And he kind of takes the boys and starts speaking again in this very wispy language that almost emulates the sounds of the forest. As you players would know, it's druidic, but he starts to almost speak in this, a language you've never heard, and they're completely carrying conversation back and forth, and you can tell that it's a language. You just are unable to try and comprehend what words will mean what. And begins to take these kids and walk them towards kind of it almost looks like a cave mouth towards it, and they head down. But other than that, you guys are in this small little enclave of druidic life, and by all means.
Antlyn turns around and he's holding his water skin, and he holds a hand out for towards everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Hands the water skin over.
Hands it.
Hands her water skin over?
Yep.
Thomas is playing.
Yeah, Thomas is completely.
Thomas, do you want your water skin filled?
Can't talk right now, playing. You're it.
They're chasing around. Except Thomas is getting kind of worked a little bit. They're transforming into really fast cats and stuff. Just trying to outrun Thomas. But he is allowed to play in all the reindeer games.
Hold on, real quick. Did you say they're turning into fat cats?
No, fast cats.
Oh, I thought you said fat cats. I was like, do you hate Mondays too? Love lasagna? I mean, what's going on here?
It is.
Alan's gonna shrug and then go find the water source to fill their water skins.
If Thomas had put his pack down, I would go get the canteen.
Yeah, you guys all kind of put your stuff together, I would assume.
Okay, then I go get the water skin I'll get it from Fowl, and then go find a place to fill it up.
Oh, you can just see it. The kind of through the center of this place almost runs this water source, which almost seems to get sucked back up. It's almost like they've have like this. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Have you ever seen a self-contained ecosystem that someone would build, and the water gets cycled around back up, kind of like a fish tank where it gets cycled through and reoxygenated? It's almost that. They almost have that here, built through. So that basically the center you have this crystalline river that is always flowing with the
Okay.
waterfalls.
Antlyn waves to everyone and rushes to the waterfalls.
One goes down and one goes up. One's a water up.
I like the water up thing.
Yeah. So for the first time, you kind of put your skin upside down, and it just kind of fills up, and
That's cool.
you kind of see a fish go floating by. Up the water.
Start wandering around, just talking
Yeah,
to people
there's
here and there.
all sorts of things that people are tanning. They're doing this, so I guess we'll go in order of you guys listed. So Illiyanna, where are you generally headed in here? Like, what are you looking for? What are you trying to find?
I don't know. She would be looking around at the other people. You said people were like healing others and
Tending to animals, all sorts of things.
tending to animals.
Basically everything a druid would do, and then some.
She would go and she would, I assume the little squirrel guy's on top of her head.
Mhm.
She'd go and she would ask one of them if they know what he eats and everything. Like, if.
So you're looking around at a little girl, a little druidic girl, kind of her hair all done like almost like in French braids and a bunch of flowers in it. And she goes, "What's his name?"
Oh,
She drags it to you.
I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't know.
Why did you ask him?
What's your name?
It kind of like squeaks and makes noises at you. What'd he say?
I don't know. I don't speak squirrel.
But you're, and she like tries to raise to like get your full up. But that's all. How do you not know?
I don't know. I never learned how to talk
She
to
sticks both
squirrels.
her arms out for the squirrel.
Oh, she's really careful and she detaches the squirrel from her hair and
Yeah,
hands
she
it
lets
over.
go. You just see her start chirping away with the squirrel, back and forth.
You can talk. Hi.
And she looks back to you and goes, "What else do you want to know?"
I wanna know his name. If, why he was following. If he's happy. What he eats. Does he have like a favorite food?
She's chirping as you're saying all these things. Looks back to you.
And my name's Illiyanna, and I hope that he's happy. Or if he wants to go somewhere else, he can too. But I like him.
Chirps a bunch, and then kind of gives him a little toss up into the air so he can fly back on your head. So, name's Ratatasker. He likes
Rat.
grapes, hates oranges, and happy.
Aw, well, it's nice to meet you, Ratatosker.
He somehow has a grape that he pulls out. Starts munching on it.
Can you teach me how to talk to Ratatosker?
She kind of like scrunches her nose a little bit, thinking. No, I'm still a student. My mom can. She just points over to like one of like these little openings in the trees.
Oh, I'll have to go see her. Oh, my name's Illiyanna. She holds out a hand. What's your name?
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
Oh,
But squirrels aren't strangers.
no. Squirrels are nice. Do you talk to squirrels a lot?
I talk to all the creatures.
That must be so cool. Even the big ones? Like, she points to one of the bears.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! What do they talk about?
Honey.
That makes
She
sense.
giggles.
That makes a lot of sense.
She goes, "My name's Brenda, bye!" And she runs.
Oh, bye! Thank you, Brinja!
So,
I guess she
so-
can go over and see your mom.
yeah, you make your way over in that one. All right, Roselynn, what are you doing? There's witchcraft all around you.
Ah! No. She will. As a car goes by.
It's not me this time. Ha ha! I win. No, I've won. Just put it out now. I've won. Thank you.
She will probably be awkwardly standing there, like being observant. Like she doesn't really know what to think of this.
So she's not interacting with anyone.
No, not really. She's just awkwardly standing there, like not unsure
As
of
you're awkwardly
really
standing
what
there,
to do.
You are pegged in the head with an acorn.
Who did that? She'll turn around to see who did that.
You're laughing. You don't see anyone.
It's rude to peg people with things.
Just hear more giggling.
It's not funny.
You get hit with another one. You just hear a very young, maybe 4-year-old boy's voices. Why are you so angry?
Because I'm being pegged with acorns. How dare you.
Well, we were just trying to include you in our game, and you get hit by 2 more, and they run.
Ah,
You hear them,
what?
you just
What
hear them
kind of
running
game is
through the
this?
Acorn tag?
That's what? So you peg people with acorns and they're attacked?
Uh-huh. We even have slingshots.
She'll pick one up. Where are they?
They're standing like up on like tree branches.
She'll try to throw one
Yeah,
at
give me dexterity check.
one of them.
Waits for your dexterity. Yeah, he's running. You just whip it side. You hit him. He like trips, lands, and he just starts laughing. And his brown laugh. See, I told you she's a better shot than you. And she just starts running as the younger brother grabs it and starts chasing him back.
She'll just watch.
So, Vogel, who's, that's what you're in here as. So, Antlyn, you're
Hi.
over by the water, filling up the water. What are you doing?
Yep.
After that.
He'll fill the water, come back to the packs, and place them to their, distinguished places, and then he'll look around. He's gonna go to probably talk to one of the older people and ask him if they what they know of their god from their point of view.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
you
the
come,
person
you
they
come by
worship.
like a group of kind of older wood elves, graying wood elves that are sitting there. They're playing kind of like almost like dominoes. There's kind of like a bunch of old druids, but they're playing. It's kind of a different style. And they look up and they motion just for you to sit with them. They
And
sit-
then looks. Yeah, he'll look to them, then he'll sit down, tilting his head, looking at the game.
They give you a bunch of these just small shaped and colored stones, and they start trying to explain the game to you as they go. What are you doing on the surface? One of them says to you.
He's trying to mess with the pieces and kind of study them a little bit, and then he looks up and just says, "What do you?"
You're one of them underground elves. Durgot, who are they called? And what was this? Drow. Yeah, them dark elves. Puts another one down.
No, I'm a high.
No, you're no elf. All of them point to you.
I was once known as a high elf, but
I was once thought I was a turkey. I was just pretending to be one. Slaps. They all kind of chuckle.
Ellen smiles and nods. I recently learned I was a dark elf, whatever that is. Not really sure of what I am now that the truth has been laid out in front of me.
Well, one of the other ones. You're still you. You're just you and by a different name.
Yes, but living most of your life as a lie, not really understanding what you are until you're told what you are.
Yeah, one of them looks at you. A lie. What was the lie?
Thinking I was a high elf this entire time.
Uh-huh. So does that make any of your interactions different?
He tilts his head. No, but it explains all the looks that people give me.
That's because you're an albino. It's light skin, it's the eyes. You're
He
different.
shrugs.
We all get looks. Another kind of one slams down and they all laugh as they're playing the game. They start dealing you in as you go through turns.
He chuckles also with them and smiles and then just looks to one of the older ones and just says, "What do you know of the person you worship?"
Othar or you're the Othar ones, right?
Othar.
Or Tauros.
Who?
I personally, I'm a mountain druid. I'm just down here visiting.
And who do you worship?
Tauros.
What is Tauros?
Thank you.
Not a problem. Well, he's Othar's and Luris' son. He's the man of the mountain and peaks. He tends to like dwarves, and likes them to build their domains and upon his dominion. He's kind of sees the mountains and peaks. Kind of shows you a small little emblem. It's a peak through the clouds. That's what it represents. He goes, but they're all Othars.
He nods slowly and then thinks on it. Have you ever heard of a...
Akitama, yes.
Have you ever heard of a woman's voice in your mind? I'm not really sure how to...
He starts laughing. And all the old men start laughing. And he puts his hand on his shoulder. Son, if it's that, if you're already hearing her voice in your mind, just marry her because you're never going to get it out of it. She'll nag you to the day you die.
He tilts his head confused. No, me and my companions that arrived, and I'm pretty sure one of them will say something if I told anyone, because we somewhat promised not to say anything, but we killed what one of our companions is called an Etin. And
two-headed monstrosities of giants.
He nods. We killed one of those, but afterwards, his body was taken underground, and I heard a woman's voice in my mind.
Oh, and we, especially the gods, are looking at us. One of them goes. They all kind of chuckle. There's more that you guys don't know about this realm than you do.
Have you seen many places out there? And he points, like, kind of gesturing past the grove.
Yeah. Most of us have. Far beyond what you guys call the edge of the world. They all chuckle.
So you visited multiple places with fantastic sights as the white tips.
The white tips are he kind of motions to the river. In all due honesty, compared to the rest of the world, the white tips are about as far away from you as that water is.
He takes a moment to think on that, and
Vast deserts, civilizations with their weird contraptions, sprawling forests, badlands, volcanoes.
volcanoes.
Yes, except the molten rock from inside the planet just brushes the surface. It's great devastation.
That's the first time I'm hearing of one.
Sprawling oceans.
He nods and then he just continues playing the game and talking, making small talk with him.
Mm-hmm. Thomas,
Yes.
last year I knew you were playing with all the other a small group of halflings.
I get it.
Yep, you get it.
Okay,
They
so
all whisper to Thomas and goes, I don't. They start talking. They start speaking in halfling. Okay.
okay.
No, I don't think he's brave enough. No, he's probably not. He's not brave like us. They look towards you.
So this is the game. Okay. What's the deal?
They point to a kind of like another archway in the trees, and you kind of see it leads behind the water, like the upwards waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're brave enough to go in there by yourself.
What's the bet?
If you don't, we get. And they look over what they haven't seen. They see the pan flute. We get your pan flute.
And if I do?
They start thinking. What instrument do you really like?
I like my pan flute.
What other instrument do you like?
Never tried another one.
What do you want?
He thinks for a minute. He starts looking at, he starts looking at him for a minute and he goes, stories.
Nods.
Stories that...
Stories?
No. Stories that aren't in books. Stories about Eskrin. Or...
Start whispering between the two. We'll take you to some of the story. We don't know the story. But we know someone who knows the name Eskrin.
Thomas nods.
She sticks out his hand. You have to stand there for 1 minute. No scanty gnomes.
I'm a halfling. He shakes his hand.
Shakes his head too. Okay, so you make your way over there.
Yep.
Are you gonna do this stealthily, or are you just walking in like a boss?
I'll do it stealthily.
Alright, roll me a stealth.
Because he's not a boss.
Okay. Just kind of slip past the little, the dark cloth that's there. And you hear the dripping of water. And there's kind of like a steam in here. As you make your way around, you kind of find like stone carved stairs that lead downwards.
Okay.
So you start traversing down them. And it's hot. I mean, it's, your hair is getting a little frizzled from all the steam. As you make your way down,
It poofs out a little bit.
as you make your way down, I need another stealth check because you made it through the first challenge like a boss.
Okay.
You've hit the bottom step, and you kind of there's like a little patter of your foot. You step in like a small condensing of water, and you see all these little fireflies light up, almost like illuminating the place. And before you, you see this, kind of like these couple columns of falling hot water. And Thomas, you look across as you hear a shriek, and there is a young halfling druid about your age who shrieks and covers herself and yells. You can hear the laughter of the other halflings outside.
Thomas turns his head real quick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
She's like, "Who are you?"
My name's Thomas. Very pleased to meet you. And he sticks his hand out. He still has his head to the side.
She looks. She's like tries to cross her legs and shakes your hand. The man's is the other side of the forest. The other one.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I still got to be here another 30 seconds or so.
She's like, "Why?"
Made a bet, don't want to lose my pan flute. Normal stuff. I have to prove my bravery and, be a badass and so on and so forth.
She kind of like wiggles herself to the edge of the water and starts lowering herself in. Okay then, and she just lets her arms up as she submerges herself.
Can I look now?
Sure.
All right, I was going to anyways.
She kind of puts her thumbs, on each bridge of her nose. She's like, "So you're not from around here?"
No, not at all. Where are you from? Oh, wait, let me guess. Here.
She nods slowly.
All right. What's your name?
My name is. Let me look at the list.
That's a weird name.
It's better than Hold On.
That's true.
Nita.
We have lots of NPCs named that.
That's my god you're talking about. Just please.
My name is Nita. It's a pleasure to meet you, Thomas.
She need a lot of things.
Somewhere a vine creeps up behind Antlyn and slaps him across the face. She looks at Thomas. I believe your 30 seconds are up. It must have been the longest you've lasted.
Boy, if I had a gold for every time I've heard that before. He just continues to look at her. So, what do you do around here?
Around here, and she motions, I attempt to bathe.
Uh-huh.
I need a
Cool,
little privacy.
cool. Okay, go ahead. I'll just wait. You'll sit down.
She laughs, shakes her head.
Do you need something to wear?
Oh, I need a whole lot of things.
He'll hand her a shoe.
What do I just put this on my head?
No. Just put it on your feet. You're fine.
She just shakes her head. She points to, robes that are over there. If you wouldn't mind, then.
Fine. He'll go and get her robes. And,
She waits for her to
just
turn
like-
around.
Fine. He'll turn around.
She takes them as she waits to dress herself.
He keeps on looking back every now and then. How about now? Is now good? Now?
One time that you turn around,
Uh-huh.
You just see this giant bear staring at you.
Okay, and he'll run out then.
You hear her chuckling back as you run.
Okay.
And then look, all the halflings are laughing. And as soon as they hear the bear, as you come in, they go, "Oh shit! We'll get you the stairs," and they just scatter.
Oh no, bullshit! And he's running after him.
Okay. All right, Breanne.
Yes. I want to find like the person in charge.
So the guy who left you told you to make yourselves comfortable.
Oh, that was the guy in charge. I didn't know that was the guy in charge. Then I will go to the second person. Try and find the second person in charge.
So you start walking around. Who's second in charge? They all look at you oddly. One of them just
Breanne smiles.
"Why?"
I had a question.
Go on.
I have a friend that probably wants to be able to roam around.
Oh, your dragon.
Her face just goes.
Motions at all the animals. Yeah, we're druids.
So she's safe. She won't get attacked.
Unless she attacks us.
I don't think she would do that.
So you let Bellarmine fly. And
Yep,
she
I let her
goes and
fly.
gets to fly around and plays with a couple of the kids.
Breanne watches her for a bit and like
The kids are
waits
all, like,
until
ecstatic. They've heard of them but never seen them.
she like when she like finally realizes that Bella is safe here, she kind of relaxes a bit.
Thomas, you see the dragon playing with kids. And these kids are not afraid whatsoever.
Thomas is going to put his hand on his sword and start approaching, carefully. He's watching the dragon very carefully to make sure that it's, not going to attack the kids or whatever.
Oh, it's just having fun. They're all.
He yells, towards the kids, be careful around that thing, end of the world and all that.
They look at you. Okay, crazy guy. They wave. Like, oh my god, it's a wyvern. They start talking with it.
Thomas just keeps on watching Bella closely.
Yeah. Bella's paying you no mind. Just having fun with the kids. Being able to be out, itself.
Thomas is thinking that it's trying to get its prey tired.
Pretty much Bella's getting worn down by the kids. It's not going very well. If it is.
And while
Thomas
Bella's having fun, Breanne's going to just kind of talk with the druids and try, like, she's learned about druid magic, but she's never really seen it in person.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll just like ask questions about it.
We'll show you this. Maad.
Where's the nearest drink?
You see a number of men and women kind of over. There's a little bit of music being played, and they seem to be having some sort of drink or so.
Beeline it.
Maad goes to get drunk. Oh yeah.
Try not to get drunk, but I do want to enjoy myself.
Yeah, they look over to you. They raise glasses, and
As Roselynn sees that, right?
Yeah.
She will, after chucking a few more acorns at those kids,
Oh yeah, they're having fun with it.
she'll
Make your way over
follow.
there. Yeah, they look over to you and they offer you a drink. It's different. It's more of a mead than an ale, but it seems
Fine.
very fresh.
Make small talk about it. Try to find out how it's made.
Yeah, they kind of explain their process to you. You get that there is definitely enhancements and druidic abilities at play in making the brew, but you could replicate a form of it.
Excellent. Okay.
It's very good.
Dan
It's
doesn't
very,
have a great time.
yeah. So,
Ask at one point. I do want to ask about replenishing our lost supplies.
most of them say, well, if that's what he told you, then he will be good on his word.
Okay.
Most of the days spent kind of just, relaxing and kind of being, for the first time, you actually feel safe since getting these words within this place. And, night starts to fall and a big, one of the sides opens. As you see a big kind of, what you would know as, out of character, a giant elk kind of brought in that had been hunted, and the druids begin to, there's a small ceremony by a couple of them thanking for the bounty before they begin to almost create a large barbecue for the night. As you all congress and begin to have food, that older druid comes back and sits down some of these almost like woven backs. You count, there's at least one or two for each of you that is packed out. And he kind of sits, and again almost in this large kind of chair that's obviously been reserved for him, as a number of people begin to dance. This very joyful music played around, and Thomas, you get a tap on the shoulder.
I look behind me.
All right. So you wanted that story, right?
Yeah.
Well, let us be known that we're good for our word. We'll take you. We'll take you to who can tell the story.
Okay.
And they kind of lead you through the group of people. Thomas disappearing from many of your visions at this point. They bring you to kind of another archway, Thomas. Looks like a house.
Whose house is this?
This is the storyteller's house.
What's their name?
And they pull back the curtain. You'll be fine.
Is this another one of those little bravery things?
No, this is, you can tell it's more of a house. You look at the rest, this is similar to someone's quarters.
Okay. So it doesn't look like an abandoned warehouse or anything like that?
No, they're not. They don't seem to be duping you. They don't seem to be being upright with you either. But they're definitely...
Okay.
So you kind of step in.
Yeah.
As you hear a female voice. Hello?
Do I recognize the voice?
You do. Yeah. You see Nita kind of, hair up, looks at you and goes, I should have known. I'm going to kill both of you. You hear him laugh as they run away.
So,
300 years
So
old.
hello
They're
again.
Still immature as children. Shakes her head.
Thomas goes, yeah, those damn 300-year-old kids. Can't relate at all. So, hello again, first of all. Nice to see that you're, well, actually not nice to see. Hello.
She sits down. Do you wish to hear the
So
story
you're the
alone or with your friends?
Thomas looks outside. They seem kind of preoccupied, but I can get them in here. I mean,
We can go out there. It's fine.
all right. There's evil and all that kind of stuff thing out there, right?
What's so evil out there? Except for that, she points towards Roselynn. She seems a little cranky.
Well, she hasn't killed a kid lately.
Raybow's raise.
No. I'm sure they're fine. He looks over, starts counting kids. 1, 2. Yeah, they're all there. Yeah, she's fine. We can tell the story to the group because I think they would appreciate hearing a good story. Some of them seem kind of cranky. So can we hold hands on the way over there?
She puts her arm inside your elbow. You may lead on.
Okay. He leads on. He looks at Roselynn and goes, "Hey, check it out."
There are some weird looks you get from her, by the way, after hearing murdering of children, and then him counting the kids.
Roselynn raises an eye. Why are you looking at me like that?
I would rather not say it in front of everyone, dear. For your safety, of course.
She'll eye Thomas.
No, don't get jealous now. You've spurred my love enough.
Jealous? Oh, I get it.
She'll
just shake her head and drinks.
Towards the fire as everyone kind of quiets down slightly. She lets...
Illiyanna, I got a date.
Congrats!
No one cares, Thomas.
I care.
You do.
That's just rude. Congrats, Thomas.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was asked to tell the story of Acaen. As someone, and you see her eye two halflings who kind of gulp in the group, decided they were going to make a bet, and we are people of our word. They both gulp again. They realize this was probably a stupid idea at this point. She looks towards all of you. So what do you know of Acaen already?
I'm looking through notes.
He's a great leader.
Illiyanna holds up a hand, flips through a book.
She chuckles. This isn't a quiz.
We know
Sorry.
he was.
I'll go faster.
We know he was killed by a woman who was created to be the enemy of her father, or by the enemies of her father. Poison that has not been seen in this world since. We know he united the lambs. We know she was killed by her lover. Or like a spurn lover, actually. We know I have to look for the heart. So I want to know where this land is.
She pulls out a small kind of herb pouch, taking out some sort of almost like dried herb, and throws it into the fire as the flames burn almost dark black. And you see almost the words almost animating in the fire as she begins to tell the story, almost giving you the visual to her words. She says, more than 10,000 years ago, the first, what we refer to as demigods, was born. His name was Acaen, later to be called the Hallowed. The son of Altix, the god of war and warriors, would heed a young woman's prayers to someone to fight for justice. Her lands were conquered by a tyrannous group of individuals from on the other side of the Great Plains. Her eyes drift towards Maad, from where you are a resident now.
He nods.
The kingdom laid there before you, the one you know, as one laid here before, and looks the rest they knew. They came south, taking slaves, subjugating the people, and this young woman wished for nothing more than revenge against the tyrannous rulers and a greater tomorrow. Altix, hearing her words, bestowed the gift of life inside of her. Acaen was born. Nothing much but a babe. Would see his people and draw from the spirit, unable to be matched in combat, unable to suffer a wound from normal blades. He led a great continent, a great army on this continent, which would be known as the Rise of Acaen the Hallowed, taking over southern Benari and creating a kingdom, which the heart you look for is the capital of that kingdom, Thomas. Known as Acaen's Hollow, a great city stood for hundreds of years. The people prospered as she looks, puts her hand up. And you see Bellamy just kind of land next to her.
Thomas sighs.
She pets it very, very gently. These great creatures saw his justness and his honor and protected the people from those who would do wrong.
Thomas just looks away.
She lets it fly away. And you see inside, you see these pictures of these massive gold dragons. Make Bell look like nothing, right? Standing, guard around the city. And then, Thomas, you see something in the flames. You see one.
Okay.
You see this massive, red, fiery dragon. Not all of the dragon's kin enjoyed Acaen, and wars and cities were lost due to the chromatic, the Reds, who wanted the tyranny back. They'd live for it. The enders of worlds, as you so put them, Thomas, they do exist. You see this massive kind of imagery of this red dragon just landing in the center of a city, Thomas. Just the impact of it, just tearing buildings like out of the ground and just just unhinging its jaw, and you're seeing people running and just dissipating into smoke as they try to flee from the fire. And you see a battle unfold. The gold dragons coming to fight in Acaen, charging against this red dragon with some of his knights, and eventually causing it to flee. There is good and evil in all things, Thomas. There's good and evil in all of you. It's who you choose to be. Acaen would rule for some 378 years, before the daughter of Sirius and a common whore would give birth to Marine the Black. You see that, smile again as you see a very similar look to who you know as, you're Black, Anya. Similar, but she's definitely, you can definitely tell the differences. Walking. You see Thomas, the same face, the Xynos, the one who offered you the dagger. You see her flirting and telling him, you don't hear the words, but you can understand, just saying everything she wants. And you see him offer the poison, giving her the choice to kill Acaen and return to her, be his champion. The exact same offer that was made to you, just thousands of years in the past. You see her do it, and then you see her live to her and just become a little braggadocious about how she killed Acaen and not paying homage to Xynos. And you see in the back shadows Xynos not getting praised for his part. Get angry, furious, and you see him show up and take her head. And then you see all these people around, innocent lives, hundreds of them. Xynos just begins to mow down and sets red dragons upon them. You see these gold dragons attempt to save as many people as they can, but with Xynos, the god, and the red dragons there, and a dead Acaen, they stand no chance. They're murdered down, one by one, before you see a small, it pull away and down almost a hallway, and deep inside this hallway you see a small cloister of eggs, about 3 of them. As time continues and continues, you see some of them just crumble in naught, but there's one still there. Acaen's legacy lives on. Summon stories. Sign, she looks up, summon life. She looks towards Bellamine flying around. But there is something out there who waits for you. You see the black in the temple, just scouring and searching it for you. She wishes to find you and to end you, to be better than her sister. You have an advantage. You are days away and she does not know it yet. And you have the key to enter Acaen's hallowed vault. The fire dies down, burning just a regular fire color. Was that sufficient information for you, Thomas? On Acaen.
Thomas just stays silent and just looks at the fire and nods a little bit.
She pulls out another clump of leaves and throws it to the fire as it explodes again in color. You have all been chosen. You see each of you in your homes, and you see a number of individuals must bathe in this white light, looking at each of you. And it almost pulls back these small beads from each of them where you're from, and you kind of see a top-down version of the country. You sit in this small area of the world to bring it from darkness. As each of the lights slowly build a little bit and push back, Maad, you can see, kind of your area a little bit, kind of opening up. You see the heart. You actually physically see the heart-shaped plateau that has been called the heart. Thomas, you see it from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
There. And you see it pull back further. And you see this sprawling landmass, bigger than you could ever imagine, shrouded in darkness. And you just see this almost again, this small bead of light where you guys are. If you fight together and fight for a purpose, you can bring light to the world. However, you come back. Almost you see, Thomas, that you standing there on the cliffside. That dark obsidian dagger there. And you see, instead, you grab it. And you see you walk in. And you see you watch yourself murder every member of your party from inside the cage. And you see that little flicker of light in your chest turn dark and cold. And then you watch as that lust of darkness takes over your eyes, Thomas, as you walk out of the cage up to your father and you murder him. As Frankie tries to intervene, you watch yourself slit Frankie's throat and murder everyone from you down. And you just see Zynos chuckle, pat you on the head, and send you home. You don't see past that. There'll be temptations for all of you to turn on one another. This world is built on balance, good and bad. One decision by any of you to fall will doom the rest. You must become more than just a group of people who walk together. But you must become a family. People that you can rely on. People you trust. And the fire dies back down again. She walks over. She takes a seat next to you, Thomas, and smiles, and hands you one of these drinks as she gets one.
Thomas just remains quiet. Looks like he's deep in thought about something, and slowly sips the drink.
Thomas? May I ask what that last bit was?
She looks at Thomas, who cares to answer first.
Thomas just sips his drink, then looks over at Maad, and said, I was given an offer. I was given an offer to kill you all.
Maad gulps and nods and says, thank you for not taking it.
Thank you for not.
Thomas just sips his drink and still looks deep in thought about something.
You were given that offer twice, weren't you? Because the Black tried to give you the dagger as well.
Thomas nods. I was.
Are you okay?
Thomas looks at Maad and goes, "No."
Is there anything I can do to help?
Thomas thinks for a minute and just says, "Everything. I've been told my entire life that these things," and he points at Bella, "are the sign or evil. Nobody corrected me. Nobody tried to change that thinking. How many of the other stories that I've built my life on are lies? The heroes I try to emulate, the people that I heard stories and their great deeds of valor, how many of them were just absolute and utter bullshit?"
Matt smiles and says, "Let's find out. Together."
We could ask if they're alive or if they're not. We could find out. We could ask them. And if they lied, we could punch them. Because you're not supposed to lie.
I'm good at punching.
Nita looks to you, Thomas, and goes, "Then I ask, do you wish to make the one responsible pay for it?"
The one who didn't tell me the stories were not true?
The one who spread the lies. The one responsible for your families being in danger. For you being in danger. Do you wish to punish those responsible?
Thomas thinks for a moment, and he nods. He walks over to the kids he made the bet with, and he hands him his pan flute. He says, "I won't need it." He goes, "I won't need this, because apparently my stories are lies. And I don't want people to think me as a liar."
She looks to you. She goes, "Sirius is your enemy, Thomas. And you are not yet strong enough to kill a god. However, there's a way to hurt him, to weaken him. And your first step is finding the heart. Uncover the truth. Spread that story. And Sirius will lose his power here. He draws from lies and unknowing. His daughter is the one that hunts you. She is not effective in killing you. And you weaken his claim even more. You see an elvish woman walk up to the pair of halflings, take the pan flute, and stand making her way towards you. As she speaks, Antlyn, you've heard this voice in your head. She holds the pan flute back out to you, Thomas.
Thomas looks at her. Has he heard this voice before?
You look to her and her face is so familiar. It's similar, but it's not exact. She holds it out to you. I did not give this to you for you to throw it away, Thomas.
Thomas looks up, and I think he's going to make an assumption here. He's going to look at her, and his eyes are going to, like search her face for a moment. He's going to look into her eyes and go, "Slyry?"
You may call me by my real name, Thomas. You've earned that. It's Kara.
Thomas looks at her for a minute. He's debating him. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
He's going to look at her, and he's just going to... He looks like he wants to say something for a moment, and he stops himself, and then he finally just builds up the courage and looks at her and goes, "Why didn't you tell me? Why the lies?"
She sits on the ground, crossing her legs. Which lie would you like me to explain? The name, or that I was something greater?
Why didn't you tell me about the stories I was hearing weren't true?
Because
You had that opportunity.
She looks to you, Thomas. Because not all stories need to be true, Thomas, to inspire the people. You do it every time you enter. You go in, you tell a story, you inspire people. And while I shouldn't even be the person that is looking over you, and she motions towards Illiyanna, she is more gifted in my talents, naturally, than you are. You want them. I bestowed them upon you. You are a great storyteller, even if your talents do not align with what a normal bard is, Thomas. You want them. I told you the greatest story that no one knew. I told you the truth about it, and I put you in danger. For that I apologize. But for not telling you that some stories were fabricated, I will not apologize. I'll only apologize for what I have done to you.
I built my life around those stories.
And she looks to him and smiles. You have. And you are learning greater stories because of it. She looks to your group. And she puts her hands on your shoulders. And it's a very calming touch. She turns you around to look at your party. And that little boy that I met, who wished to see the world and learn the greatest stories, is there with friends, with people he should be able to rely on, and be able to tell the greatest story that no one has ever heard. Because you became inspired. Imagine
You made me. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You made me who I am today.
You made you who you are, Thomas. You simply were inspired by words and deeds. Each story has a root in truth. They may not be fully truthful. You're aware of this as well. I am not as powerful as Sirius. I cannot always influence the stories that are told. But you can bring truth to the world and let your light shine. If you choose to. She lets him turn back around. She holds the pamphlet back out to him. This is all who you are. you follow those words, then you will save your family. Succeed or fail. As long as your judgment is rightful.
Thomas looks at the flute for a minute. And he puts his hand on it. And looks at her and he goes, "You made me who you wanted me to be. You chose me. So you molded me. Whether you want to admit it or not."
There's a small tinge of hurt in her eyes. She looks at you. She looks at you and says, "I apologize if you feel that way. I saw deep within you what you wish to be, and I only aimed to make you the person you wish to be." She looks to you. She pulls a small white stone. "If you wish, I will withdraw my gift. If this is not who you want to be, I don't want to force you." There's a genuine pain in her as she utters those words.
Thomas looks at her and says, "How many others have y'all manipulated? Have y'all made into what y'all wanted to accomplish something greater for each of you?"
It's your emotions to the people you travel with.
Waves.
Thomas looks at him.
Still waves. I mean, I'm okay with it. We're gonna help the world be a better place. It's gonna be really scary. We might die. But if we can help bring the true knowledge back so that people can choose for themselves, so nobody's in this situation where we basically have to choose with so little information, then I think that's a help.
Thomas looks to his party, and you're all okay with this.
No, but hey.
She lifts her hand. "If any of you are not okay with this, I shall summon yours, and they will give you the same offer."
I'm not okay, but I'm not gonna complain.
"Do you wish to return to a simpler life, Roselynn?"
I slept with the Greenstone, did I not?
That you did, but you did not have much choice either, after seeing what you saw. Did you?
I believe my answer will still stand, but I am curious of who chose me.
Adis and Icona both thought of you. However, Icona blessed you in the end because she saw past your mistake.
Adis and...
Can you spell that?
I can. I'm getting there.
Thank you.
were they the ones who spoke in my mind?
One of them likely. I was not there. I could not tell you which one spoke to you directly.
I see.
Thomas looks at Maad.
I made my decision a long time ago to help the people I loved. I am not going back on that word.
Thomas looks at Antlyn.
Alan looks at Thomas.
You're okay with this?
Slowly nods.
Thomas looks at Breanne. I'm sorry. Yeah, Breanne.
Breanne will look at Thomas, and then she'll look at Bellarmine, and she'll say, I made a decision when I found her to protect her. And if protecting her means that I have a possibility of dying, then that's okay with me. I want people to know the truth.
Thomas listens to everybody and then looks back at Slattery and says, whether you want to admit it or not, you had the chance to tell me the truth about every story I've ever been told. You chose not to do this.
She nods.
Manipulated and molded me into what you saw in me. Again, knowing that these stories were full of half-truths or not even true.
She nods. I don't think you've heard a story that's been full faults yet.
I'm sorry, what?
Just out of character, I don't think Thomas has heard a story that's been full faults. Half truths.
Right.
Best, yeah. Just
right,
to
but the
clarify.
thing...
No,
right.
I know where he's coming from. Just to put it out of character. Continue.
Right, I got you. Damn it. Okay. He looks at her and says, I don't like that you took my will away, myself, from lies. But now I'm choosing to seek out the truth. He looks at the stone. He goes, you can put that away.
She
But in the future...
Finger, and it just dissipates into...
He looks at her one more time and says, if you lie to me again, then you'll know fury.
She says, then I should show you this. Takes 2 fingers and put them on your forehead.
Okay.
Thomas, everything around you goes dark.
Okay.
You blink, and you are sitting in your family home with your mother and father and Frankie and Bessie having dinner.
Okay.
The weather seems oddly familiar. Like it was not more than a few days ago. Some noise comes up and you and Frankie, being the dashing young gentleman that you are, and, says, oh, we'll go look at it. One of the cows must have got out. As you and Frankie go out to check, And it's almost like you're in autopilot. You know, this is just, you're there, you're witnessing, but you don't have control on your muscles, right?
Right.
Like
So it's like I'm in a dream. Right.
You know, you guys light up a torch, and you know, as you're going out, you see you light a cow. Automatically, you know what night you're at, and there's nothing you can do to stop what's about to happen. You raise up, you see the red eyes. You see, as you look to go yell to your parents, and to you're trying to yell, but your body's not speaking. To Frankie, you see just Frankie get tackled and just torn apart. You see them smash into the windows of your house. You hear the screams from in your house, and as you go to run, you trip, dropping the torch. As you see that large one, just that wicked smile on his face, as you know that you witnessed when he was killing the people at the fountain, come across him, and you just see the claws come down, and just the moment the claws are about to hit your throat, she takes her fingers away. That was why. Now you have the truth.
Thomas looks at him and goes, "Took you long enough."
And if you could read the future, Thomas, would you act on anything but to try and change that night? Because it's a truth like this, she motions to all of them, for each of them. The moment we stepped in was the moment your strands of fate became longer.
Thomas nods, and he looks at her and goes, "I still don't like the dragons."
She smiles. You don't have to. You don't have to ever like them, Thomas. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and some of them are selfish. You don't have to like everyone you meet. Never have asked that of you.
Thomas just sits there for a minute and just gets his takes his pan flute and plays a little bit.
Phenomenally. Almost perfect, one might say.
And he'll just sit there and start and keep playing.
Are you okay, Thomas?
The fire, which had been the kind of swirling colors, fades back to normal, and in a flash, Thomas is here. I still apologize, as she vanishes.
Thomas goes, "I know. I just wish you'd told me beforehand."
Left in her place is a small gem of almost a bluish, greenish color. And there's one for each of you. And it's simply, each of them simply has a little note that says, if you wish to know what your truth was before.
What?
There is a small gem with a paper, and there's a name on each of them. It says, if you simply wish to know what your truth was before. She has basically, because of Thomas's words, allows you each to see what was changed, if you wish to.
Yep. Roselynn would wish.
Roselynn picks it up. Everything goes black, Roselynn. You see yourself. You know, you watch yourself again. You kill the child. Cut its head straight off. And you watch yourself. So you go through the paces of getting back to town, of making your break for Lake Elm, of pledging yourself. You see yourself tell the story to the Foxfields. They take you in. It's nice. It's sweet. The Orions begin to leverage the Foxfields. And the Foxfields, with no other decision, bring you what you're told. Again, you are not a pilot. It's not, nothing but a good meeting with the Orions. And you watch yourself before the king tell the story, and the Orions and Foxfields agree. And you watch yourself be brought up on an execution block and killed for crimes against the country. And just the moment before the axe takes your head, the stone dissipates and you're back around everyone. And you simply hear the words, "You will reclaim your honor," in your head from out of nowhere.
What did I hear?
You will reclaim your honor.
She will then stay quiet, thinking, and take a big swig of her ale, or made her drink.
Breanne, you see yourself finding Bella running through the woods back towards the tribal lands. You make your way in and you stop, holding just barely, like baby Bella, barely even able to speak. You look up and the day goes dark as you see that green dragon just smile, and it thanks you. You brought my prey to me. I couldn't go grab it by myself. And I knew if I let you live, that you would get it for me. And you watch as it inhales, and the memories, the smells overtake you. You almost go into a panic attack in your own head, remembering that night and watching, your loved ones, your tribe, melt. Just the skin and muscles, fat just to melt off their bodies. As it just goes, it's about to hit you. You instinctively want to turn to shield Bella, but you can't. You're just frozen in fear. And the stone dissipates in your hand. You're brought back. Almost tears running down your face. And all you hear is, "You're the last warrior of your tribe. You will fight. You will be the spirit of your tribe. claim your vengeance in battle. So you've watched two of your, well, plus Thomas, right? Thomas, you had like a look of kind of panic on his face. The immediate it ends, like the moment it ended, he went, was completely in panic, to being able to shade his facial reactions very much. Then you saw Roselynn completely terrified, going to drink, and you see Breanne just bawling like she's the worst events of her life just took place again. So this is what you guys have seen.
I can already guess at what mine's going to be, but I'm going to look at it anyway.
Maad, you pick yours up.
Be careful.
Everything goes dark around you. You see that you're about how much you feel just nervous, and you're sweating, and then you're like, oh, you can hear yourself speak, but it's almost muffled because you're living this, but again, it's a dream. You're not in control of what you're saying. It's the day before the great debate, and you're worried. You don't have the plan. You don't have a patron. You watch yourself stand up there. You mumble over your words. You're a wreck, but you're conscious through the whole thing. And the noble is out talking you and this and that. And then you hear the words that he utters at the end of his presentation. That the only reason that you know the mines are unsafe is you were the saboteur. And so taken aback and full of grief, losing who you lost, you become at a loss for words. You want to shout, you want to just call out anything, but nothing comes from your voice. You feel yourself, both your arms get yanked behind you as you are taken to the town square. A noose put around your neck as you're bound. The people that once were cheering for you thought it was a hero, throwing rotten fruit and vegetables, calling you a murderer, blaming you for the deaths of their loved ones. As you feel the box get kicked out, your heels just on it, it dissipates from you. And you just hear the words from there, from him. Where is it? I'm looking for it. Hold on. You hear a semi-familiar voice. Sounds like Othar, but it's not. You see the words. You aimed to protect those in my realm. I sent her to you to give what you needed. It dissipates. And you see Maad come out, just panic on his face. He was just about to witness his death.
Right, the drink.
Oh. Illiyanna would look to hers, look back to the groups.
They're all various stages of mental breakdown.
Yeah, I can't even look at you.
Roselyn's striking heavily.
Handshaking.
Knees weak.
Anything we do together, right? She'll touch her stone.
You're back inside Demons. He's teaching you your gift. You live this moment. You're not sure what they're freaking out about.
This is nice.
You're just starting. It's nice. He shows you himself for the first time. You remember this moment. This was a happy and cherished moment. Then you hear the doors slam open. And standing there is, what the hell's her name? I can't think of it right now. I just drew a blank.
Marine?
Nope.
Or Anya?
No, neither of them. Your other scholastic buddy.
Oh! Damien? Or no, you mean,
The
Kia.
Kia, standing there, guards behind. As they see you magic is in your hand. He is in his form. They rush both of you. And she just is laughing the entire time. She whispers to you, I won. It's all mine now. As you watch yourself and Damien dragged out, people calling you witch, all things, throwing things at you, throwing things at him as he could not change back, calling all sorts of words, dragged out, tied to 2 stakes, as they begin to throw animal fat around your feet. You watch him be lit upon fire, his screams echoing into your very soul, and you see a man, black hood, eyes, with a torch walk up to you, and he lets it go, engulfing the pyre at the bottom. You feel your legs get hot as you try and struggle. You take a last gasp as you feel the smoke burn your lungs, and it dissipates. And all you hear is, it's a gift, not a curse. You will show the world. From a female voice. Illiyanna just panicking at this point, most likely. Tears streaming down her face, just unable to even hold it in.
And the first thing she does is like draw in a breath and coughs it back out and realizes it's not actual smoke. Oh. Oh.
And there's one final gem remaining. Antlyn.
It's knowledge. Not particularly good knowledge, but it's knowledge and it's true. And there's a bit at the end you should listen to. It's... Huh.
You heard the voice too?
Roselyn's just rubbing her neck a little.
I heard the lady.
I heard a band.
Oh.
You each come to the idea that you probably heard the one that is looking over you.
Did they sound familiar?
To some of you.
Yes.
To some of them, yeah.
Did it sound familiar for Roselynn?
Yes. Antlyn, there's one stone remaining with your name if you wish to see what was. Bogle.
Sparks.
Spartans?
You've got it muted.
He doesn't show muted for me.
Yeah.
I'll send a video.
So Thomas, watching each of these people, watching Antlyn mull over his decision. Is there anything you say to anyone?
Thomas looks at each person and he says, apparently we were given a second chance, so to speak. And apparently our lives were built on lies. But it's these lies that gave us a second chance. He looks at Bella, he goes, I still don't like her. Not going to like her.
I wasn't lied to.
I wasn't lied to either. I was just...
Yes, you were. Each one of your lives were changed, or were shaped by the people who, or the gods who felt you needed to follow a path to lead you to this.
I was given an option. I chose this path.
Yet it was set before you to pick it.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, Thomas. I'm very well thankful to not be on a chopping block.
You wouldn't have been on there for long.
Mine. What? It's me. It wasn't me that did it. It was. I thought she was my friend. But she was. She left. She didn't care. Maybe she was lying. I don't know what they did. Or if they changed her, or if they just made it and whatever she did didn't happen. But Damien's alive because of it, so that's okay.
Maad would walk over and sit next to Illiyanna. Take her hand. You okay?
No.
We've got each other now.
I think we all saw our deaths before our eyes.
Most definitely.
She gives Maad a hug, and she says, "I'm sorry. Y'all's were like mine. That wasn't good to see. It was different, and I guess it was needed, but it was still
horrifying."
Yeah, she shivers. Yeah.
Like I said before I touched it, I had an idea of what it would show me, and I was right. The only thing that saved me was taking that option.
Continue to come back in. So, then the night draws on, as you are all shown places to stay. As the moon drifts across the skies, you know that tomorrow you set out on your journey. Sitting alone at the table, still staring at the stone, is Antlyn. Slowly reaches out, whether to touch or to get rid of it. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Aww.
Yay!
Thank you, Twitch. It's been fun.
Thank you, Twitch.
Thank you, Twitch.
Thanks,
Our journey continues
Thank you,
next Friday. Bye,
Yes.
guys.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Twitch!
Bye.